Hi, this is James Maroney of First Choice College Placement, getting ready to go over this week's test prep tip of the week with you. This week we're going to be focusing on math problems and in particular word problems. The first step to solving a word problem is always to, number one, know what you're being asked or know what the question is. So we're going to start out by reading the question and trying to underline important words as we read. So we look through here. The sum of five different positive integers is 100. If the smallest of these integers, so the smallest is 10, what is the largest possible value of one of the other four integers? Okay, so we're reading this question and we're going to try to set up a way to solve it. Now, when you're adding things together and they equal 100, they're all positive, this becomes a zero-sum game, meaning that the bigger one number gets, the smaller the other number could be. And this is kind of a common question here, that what's the largest possible value of one of these integers? Well, in order to get the largest possible of one, we need the other three to be as small as they possibly could be. And since we know the first one is 10, and what else do we know? We know they are all different. So the smallest is 10. What's the next smallest? 11. What's the next smallest? 12. What's the next smallest? 13. Plus, well, this is what we're going to solve for, x. What number? X. And we know that adds up to give us 100. So, again, they're different, and the smallest, they're positive integers. It didn't say even or odd, so we could go with 10, 11, 12, and 13. Those are the four smallest possible integers, which would give us the largest possible value of x. So 10 and 11, 21 and 12, 33, 46 plus x equals 100. And so now what do? Do one to one side as you do one to the other. We have our equation set up, so we're going to subtract 46 from both sides of the equation. Cancels out over here. We get that x equals 54. So what is the largest possible of one of the other four integers? 54. So we solve and then we match. Okay, so the answer is B, 54. So what are the steps in solving a word problem? Number one, know what you're being asked. So what is the largest possible value of one of the other four integers? Number two, break the problem into parts. And we did that while we were reading, right? We took that five different and they added up they equaled 100. And then the other is the smallest is 10. Translate those parts into an equation. So 10 plus 11 plus 12 plus 13 plus x equals 100. Use the equation to solve. And then finally, make sure we're answering the question that's being asked. Because a lot of times on on word problems, we're going to have a number of different parts, right? And so you're going to have a question where it's going to be Barney, Ted, and Marshall. And you set it up and you solved for Barney, but the question was about Ted. So you did all the work right, but you got the answer wrong. And that's one of the good things about the test, is that one of these answers has to be right. The bad thing is that four are wrong, and they're not just random wrong answers. They're the most common mistakes that a student will make. So that's why one of the simplest things we can do to double check ourselves is to go back and make sure, did we answer the question that's being asked? That's your test prep tip of the week for this week. Be sure to learn more about First Choice College Placement at our website, www.firstchoicecollege.com. We offer small SAT classes in Milford, Connecticut, and actually throughout Fairfield and New Haven counties of Connecticut through our partnerships, in Garden City, New York, and also available on the web. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.